A combat and support focused skill unique to Runescape 3, summoning involves calling forth creatures from the spirit plane or binding demons to aid you in skilling or fighting. They can be spawned for up to 90 minutes depending on the creature by using a summoning pouch. All summoned creatures will help fight alongside you, but summons generally fall into one of three categories, usually defined by their passive and active abilities. Combat summons, such as elementals, titans, and demons, have either a passive that helps in combat, or no passive but higher damage. Support summons are useful in combat or skilling, but not for damage or boosts. For example, Beasts of Burden give you increased inventory space, Bunyips heal you passively, and Holy Scarabs reduce your prayer drain. Utility summons are focused around skilling, usually specific skills. Some increase your level or success rate while summoned, such as gargoyles for mining, lobsters for fishing, and beavers for woodcutting. And others, like the Muspa and the abyssal creatures, have extra inventory space that only fits divination memories or rune essences. All summons have an activated ability that can only be used with scrolls. You can create scrolls by using a summoning pouch on an obelisk rather than summoning a creature with it, and then click the grey wolf icon in your summoning interface to cast it manually, or set your summon to auto-fire the scrolls at a set interval. Summoning familiars or casting scrolls consumes summoning points, which can be restored by drinking summoning potions or super restores, or by touching a summoning obelisk, similar to how prayer is restored. A summon's scroll ability generally expands on its intended use case. Combat summons will deal an extra burst of damage or boost you, or reduce the enemy's stats. Beasts of Burden can teleport items to your bank, and utility summons will try catch fish or chop trees, or boost your success rate temporarily. There are also several summons that have unique uses via scrolls. Fruit bats generate a bunch of fruit on cast, compost mounds generate compost, and meerkats will dig up clue caskets without spawning a wizard. To create a summoning pouch, you require an empty pouch, some spirit shards, a summoning charm, and a component related to the familiar. Empty pouches and spirit shards can be bought from any summoning shop, commonly found next to the obelisks at which you create your summons. Charms are split into 4 groups, gold, green, crimson, and blue, and drop from any monster or boss in the game. The higher level the monster, the higher tier of charm it drops, and vice versa. The tertiary component related to the familiar is often the hardest part to gather, similar to herblore secondaries. Almost all components can be farmed consistently in some way, whether it's smithing metals for golems, killing enemies for bones or body parts, or getting fur or plants via hunter or farming. To train summoning, you bring to a summoning obelisk a stack of pouches, charms, and spirit shards, and fill the rest of your inventory with the components specific to the familiar you're creating, and interact with it to fill all the pouches in your inventory and get a large chunk of experience. The distance to the nearest bank determines how fast you can train summoning, so most people train at Menaphos until level 75, and then go to Prifdunus as you will gain 20% more experience if the Amlod voice is active. If using materials that do not have a high GP cost, you can instead choose to train at Tavali and sell noted components to the shop next to the obelisk, and then buy them back one inventory at a time, turning the pouches into scrolls or selling them back to free up inventory space. There are a few supplementary items or effects that are useful to know about. Spirit gems have a chance to save charms when worn, a summoning focus will increase experience gained per pouch by 50%, a summoning totem placed on Anachronia increases the duration of your familiars, and the Spirit Weaver relic at 87 archaeology causes pouches to be created one at a time, but for 50% higher experience. Ancient Summoning, unlocked via Day Gone By, a complex archaeology mystery requiring several unique items, grants you access to binding contracts. Made from archaeology materials, these are filled by killing demons rather than created at obelisks, and are generally a lot more powerful or useful than the traditional summoning familiars. There are many more useful or niche summons with a large variety of effects, and some components are easier to gather than others, so it's worth looking at the summoning training page on the wiki, or checking out each familiar yourself if you have the time.